So, hello everyone, I'm Tippy, and together with me here today are Brian and Brandon. As part of the Science School's MenTernship Program, we are very delighted to have Ms. Sindy Leung with us today to share with us some of her experiences and tips working in the investment industry. Sindy is also an alumni from HKUST, and we are sure that you would all gain some valuable insights from our conversation with her. Without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, Cindy. Would you please start by sharing a bit about yourself?
Yes, hi everybody. I'm Cindy. I'm graduate from Economics and Finance, BSc student back in 2009, and I'm now a director at UBS as the Community Affairs Manager for Greater China. So back a little bit background about myself is I come from investment banking. My previous job is in investment banking. I work as a transition manager, which I onboard institutional clients, hedge fund clients onto our UBS platform. So I am coming from investment banking background, and then I moved to community affairs. But prior to that, I studied at in London for a one-year program, which I did my postgraduate diploma there with an internship in UBS, and then I have part-time weekend study in international business practices.
I see. It's really nice to hear how much you get to experience after graduation. And the question I would like to ask is, did you encounter any interesting or memorable experiences in your current role that you could share with us?
Yeah, sure. So I would say, obviously, last year, 2020 is a very memorable, or you can say it's very different from a normal routine that we have. So as a community affairs manager, most of my job is to organize volunteering events. Obviously, you may find that a lot of events are in person, physical events, because we support our grassroots community. We do a lot of in-person, face-to-face meeting with our beneficiaries. So UBS has a very unique position in terms of community affairs. We don't only give money to our grantees, but then at the same time we encourage our colleagues to volunteer, and we have a KPI, or you can put it target of 40% employee volunteering, and hence we highly encourage everyone to be volunteer and everyone to get in touch with the community. And that's why, when you ask me about how things worked last year, it would be very different and very challenging, I would say. So memorable experience, I think it will be because the COVID situation worsened in January, February, if you remember. So we have to quickly work on our strategy in terms of where we should insist on our 40% volunteering target, one thing, and the other thing is what does it mean by volunteering, whether we have to go into the society and meet our beneficiaries in person, or we can look for virtual experiences. So obviously we have chosen the latter, and hence we still we have to work with our charity partners and create new types or new forms of opportunities for our volunteers. And the other thing is, because of the COVID situation, UBS has reacted quite quickly and that we put on a $30 million grant as a COVID-19 response fund globally. So with that, we in each of the regions here in Asia Pacific, we also have to action very quickly and get to know who are who can bridge the gap in the society, and then we also put in new grants to our project committee. And as I've mentioned that I look after Greater China, so meaning that I am also responsible for the grants here in China. As you remember last year at the very beginning, it was only China who was affected, and hence we have to respond very quickly and reach out to the community and see which organization or which charity would be most capable in acting quickly and having our support in place. Many other banks are doing the same things, and not only banks but other corporates. So obviously we have to look into our uniqueness, where we can where we can secure a relationship with that NGO partner, and whether the NGO partner can deliver the end product to Wuhan, to be very specific. Yeah, the thing is, because everybody is fighting for resources, and but then at that time, only China was the one who was affected, right? So everyone was fighting for resources, and we have to make sure that this organization has a good relationship with the government, which can help to support the beneficiaries. So I guess this is like the difficult or challenging part.
Yeah, it's quite hard during the COVID-19 pandemic, and I hope that it will end soon. It's really inspiring to see you reaching out to the community, even in Hong Kong or China, in so many ways in your current role. And now, as you mentioned that you have had some experiences in the investment industry, we would like to learn a bit more about it. Just like there is a common stereotype among a lot of people that working in this industry would be really hectic. Maybe like 100 hours per week. Is this really true, or perhaps what are some expectations versus reality situations you encountered in this industry?
Say that yes, it's long hours, it's stressful, but then it may not be 100 hours. I would say, obviously, when you are junior, so you have to put extra effort in working on your stuff. Make sure you know the work that you're working on. Make sure that you see the bigger picture as well. So the more hardworking you are, the faster you pick up the stuff, right? And at the very beginning of my role in the investment banking industry, where I work in the equities department, and in equities there is something called prime brokerage. So you may not have that like this structure in place, but then I would say that in general, yes, everybody is very hardworking, smart people, and you don't want to show that you are not as smart as your peers. So obviously you want to know as much as you can, and hence yes, when I was junior, I worked extra hard, and I work over the weekend. For most of the weekend, at least like Saturday or Sunday, I will put some time to finish up the work that I couldn't finish over the week, and then I try to have Monday afresh. I think this is a very good practice, so that you don't have your work dragged behind, and you know your stuff, because when your boss asks you, okay, so can you give me some update of this week, and you know that, okay, so last week is clear, so I'm just when I give her update, I'm pretty sure and I'm confident that this is what's the latest, right? You don't want to lag behind your email. Also for freshmen, when they come into the investment industry, I always ask them to, like, you don't have to, like, when there are emails coming in, like there are emails coming in every second, right? But then you don't have to reply them quickly, but then you have to know what happened in the email. So obviously from the title or the subject line, you know, okay, so this is what's going to happen, what's happening. And so when they keep coming in, you know things, you're on top of things. I think being on top of things is very important in the industry, so you don't lag behind. But then, and hence I would strongly encourage everyone to be, you don't want to lag behind. So stereotyping, I think somehow 100 hours may be true when you are junior and you want to, and it's also an attitude, right? You don't want to be lag behind, and you don't want to like somehow when your boss asks you for update and you are giving her the update like 2 weeks ago, right? So I guess this is somehow is an attitude as well. And the other thing is, so there are different sectors or departments in the industry. In front office, investment banking, you have wealth management, you are running business, you are like, or asset management, obviously fast paced, and you can't really look at other stuff. You don't, you are very focused during the day, and like 7, I would say 7:30, 7 to, because you look at Australian markets as well for some of our colleagues. So 7:30 or like until 4 to 5, this is like the hours you have, you are very intense, you pay extra attention to your work. But then after work, you can be pretty relaxed, you can go to gym, you can have your family time. So it really depends on like how you manage your work. I personally, when I was in the front office, I work like 7:30 to 6 normally, but then I still reply to emails if it's urgent after work. So we have this mobile app that like whenever your emails come in, you know. So so this is how I manage it. And then when I move on to community affairs, because you're now in the back office, you don't have to be so intense. But then because I guess it's because I used to be in the working style of investment banking, so I still reply to emails until like 12 o'clock in the midnight. But then I don't really like work on my computer or work from home like until that late. But then yes, emails, I keep an eye on it, and I think this is prudent to have an eye on it all the time.